What's up everybody, Matt Maran here, and this is the all-new 2020 Kia Telluride, which is their large 3-row crossover. It seats either 7 or 8 people, depending on the configuration, and I think it's a pretty good-looking SUV here, very blocky and aggressive, a little boxier than some of the competitors these days, which I think a lot of people will appreciate, and just looks very good. But this vehicle is just packed with technology. Now, it has available all-wheel drive system that has several different modes, and it's very intelligent in that way. It can tow 5,000 pounds. It runs a 3.8 liter V6 engine that does 291 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque, which should be plenty, and it's right in line with what a lot of the other competitors offer. And I think it looks really good here in the back as well. You have some LEDs, you have very bold badging, and fits right in with all the other crossovers on the road these days. But there's just a ton of safety tech in this vehicle. Now, it has the standard automatic emergency braking, lane keep assist, even the smart cruise control with stop start capability is available. There's a few other things I'll get to in a second, but first, moving on to the inside here, you can see it's a very attractive interior here. I really like the design of it. You have some kind of simulated metal surfaces, and looks really good though. Especially you have that widescreen display, 10.25-inch display, has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now, that screen is available. I believe there's a smaller 8-inch screen as well. But very nice materials here for the most part on the inside. For a vehicle in this segment, I think it's a little more spacious, I think, than some of the competing vehicles as well. And so yeah, there's a lot of other safety tech. For example, it has the a driver talk system, which is very similar to Honda's cabin talk, where it can broadcast into the second and third rows. There's also a quiet mode, so you can have just the audio for the front rows, and the second and third will be muted to not wake any sleeping kids. And so very clear that they're targeting the Honda Pilot with this vehicle. Second row looks very good there. Third row also looks pretty spacious. It looks like they've integrated an easier system to flip those seats forward versus something like the Sorento, which was a little trickier. There's also a Harman Kardon 630 watt stereo with 10 speakers available, and so it also has a very interesting thing, which is I think a first that I've seen, is ventilated second row seats in an SUV of this class. I think this is the first to do it, and a very cool feature in addition to the heated seats there. Trunk space also looks very competitive for the segment, right in line with what you see in the Pilot and stuff like that. But as far as other safety stuff, a couple other things I'll mention briefly is that it has a radar-based system, like a highway drive assist they call it, which will actually do some of the steering for you as well as accelerating and braking. And it also has a blind spot collision avoidance system where it will actually brake a wheel if it sees you going into the lane where it detects a vehicle, and can put you back into your lane there, which is interesting new tech as well. And there's all kinds of additional features as well, but that's just a brief overview here. I'll of course get into more whenever I do a full review on one of these. They say it's going to be available sometime this year. They didn't get too specific. They also didn't mention any kind of pricing yet, but expect it to be very competitive with everything else in the class like Kia usually is. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on the Telluride in the comments below. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.